Hi, Omega Khaos here again with another real life deck profile, and this time I'm showing my pure Lunalight deck, of course, not trying any dangers or anything like that. Essentially, main goal is to not Leo Dancer and Attack Hero Point. So that's a very simple goal. It's very fun deck to play. It could be even a little bit competitive because it can actually play through multiple interruptions. So I guess let's go at stack. So of course, first the monsters. So I run triple Lunalight Blue Cat. It's definitely a really good monster because if you spell summon it, you can double one Lunalight monster's attack. So it makes auto-decaying your opponent pretty much a lot easier. And also if this card is destroyed by the card effect, you can spell summon any Lunalight monster from the deck, including itself. So if you have to, you can kind of wall your opponent and summon multiples in the same turn. Then I run triple Lunalight Kaleido Chick, essentially mainly to summon out your Neo Dancer. So because obviously you can send one Lunalight monster from the deck or extra to the graveyard, and then this card's name becomes the name of that monster. That's really amazing, and the sending to the graveyard is a cost actually, so keep that in mind. That's really good. And also, if this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can target one polymerization in your graveyard and add it to your hand. So that's really amazing. And so yeah, very good for sure. Then I run triple Lunalight Emerald Bird, which is a new card from the legendary duelist set Sisters of the Rose. But definitely pretty good. If you normal spell summon it, you can send one Lunalight card from your hand to the graveyard, and you can draw one card. And also if this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can spell summon a level 4 level Lunalight from monster from the graveyard. But obviously have to negate its effects. So that's definitely really good for sure, and combos well with a certain card in the deck. Then I run a triple Lunalight Yellow Marten, which is another new card from that same set. So if this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can target one Lunalight card you control, accept itself, return it to the hand, and then spell summon this card in defense position, but banish it when it leaves the field. So that's already a pretty good effect for sure. And if this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can add any Lunalight spell trap from the deck to the hand. So your Lunalight fusions and stuff like that. So again, it combos with your Lunalight Emerald Bird. So that's definitely a very good card for sure. Then I run one Lunalight Crimson Fox. Pretty good card, but I'm not sure if I keep it then, because right now in this deck it's actually very easy to summon out your Leo Dancer. So generally you won't even need to summon your Cat Dancer or Panther Dancer, and that this card in particular is mostly good if you summon these other two fusions. But with Leo Dancer you don't really need this card that much. But right now I'm keeping it then, but in the future I might replace it with something like a Purple Butterfly. Then I run triple Lunalight Black Sheep, which is a very necessary card to search out your polymerization. And also if this card is sent to the graveyard as a fusion material for the fusion summon, you can add any Lunalight from the graveyard back to your hand, or even face up from an X-deck. Then I run one Lunalight White Rabbit, only one, because generally your normal summon nowadays goes for your Kaleido Chick or Emerald Bird or stuff like that, so you don't really need this card anymore that much, but of course it's still pretty good in some situations. Then of course I run triple Lunalight Wolf, because obviously it's pretty much a continuous miracle fusion for Lunalight, so that's already of course really amazing for sure. Then I run of course triple Lunalight Tiger as well, which is the last monster in the main deck. So essentially continuous revival, so that's definitely really amazing. And also if it's destroyed by a card effect, you can also revive another Lunalight monster, and also includes even if it's destroyed in the pendulum zone as well. Then the spell cards. of course, first, very obvious triple polymerization. I don't think I need to explain this card for sure. Then, of course, run 1 Lunalight Fusion, another new card from that Sisters of the Rose set. This card essentially works like a pseudo-Sotol fusion. So if your opponent controls a monster from the Exo deck, you can also use 1 Lunalight monster in your deck or Exo deck as fusion material, but only 1. So it's not like Sotol fusion that allows you to use materials from the deck for all the materials, but this only allows you to use 1 monster. So generally, you're going to send Panther Dancer from the Exo deck to the graveyard to fusion summon your Leo Dancer. That's definitely a very amazing card for sure. And of course, easily searchable with a Yellow Marten as well. Then of course run triple Lunalight Perfume. This acts as either as a revival as well as a searcher. So of course you can revive any Lunalight monster, and in the graveyard you can banish it, then discard any card to search for any Lunalight monster from the deck to hand. But keep in mind, you can't actually search it with Yellow Marten because it's Luna Space Light. It's not a Lunalight card, actually, which is kind of weird that it's named that way, but that's how it is right now. So definitely a very necessary card for sure. Then of course I run triple Fire Formation Tank because all the Lunalights are Beast Warriors, so obviously extra consistency, really good. Then I run triple Allure of Darkness, really good as well, of course, because most of the Lunalights are dark, only the Pendulums are light for some weird reason. Then I run triple Foolish Burial Goods. The reason why I run this, there are 2 main targets. There is the Lunalight Perfume, which can actually use the graveyard effect in the same turn, and also there is a new card that I'm going to show very soon, Lunalight Serenade Dance, which is very necessary for your OTK combos. So that's really a very amazing card in this deck for sure. And then of course I run 1 Lunalight Serenade Dance, which is the last card in the main deck. So essentially, the on-field effect, not really that relevant, it's pretty decent in some situations, but what's important for this card is the graveyard effect. So you can banish this card from the graveyard, and then send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard. You can specify any Lunalight monster from your deck, essentially. So that's really amazing because you can summon your Leo Dancer out, and if you have this card in the graveyard, you banish it, discard any card essentially, and specify Lunalight Blue Cat from the deck. Then that doubles your Lunalight Leo Dancer's attack, and then it will have like 7 tons of attack, and that's like makes OTKing super easy. So that's definitely really amazing for sure, and actually very necessary in this deck. So that was the spells and traps and the whole main deck. Then text deck. So of course I run triple Lunalight Leo Dancer, the main card you want to bring out in every duel and OTK your opponent. Most of you probably know what this card does, but I go over it anyway. So it requires Lunalight, Panther Dancer plus 2 Lunalight monsters, but of course generally you're going to use either Kaleido Chick or Lunalight Fusion to substitute your Panther Dancer, and must be fusion summoned with the above fusion materials. Your opponent cannot target this card with card effects, and also it cannot be destroyed by opponent's card effects. So that's really, really amazing for sure. So it's it can't be outed by most cards. Also, it can attack twice pretty much, and if this card attacks the monster, you can destroy all special monster your opponent controls. So that's really, it's pretty much basically clears the field for you as well to make your second attack. So that's really, really fucking amazing. So yeah, that will be the main post monster in this deck. Then triple Panther Dancer. You can of course summon it. It requires a Lunalight Cat Dancer plus a Lunalight monster, but generally this deck now is very much Leo Dancer oriented. So essentially just most of the time you send it either with Kaleido Chick or Lunalight Fusion to the graveyard to summon out your Leo Dancer. And then triple Lunalight Cat Dancer. Of course, the general Lunalight Fusion, that is the most easy to summon, but normally, most of the time you probably won't need to summon it at all. But if you need to, the option is definitely there. That's why I'm kind of considering actually cutting it down to 2 or something. And then I run 1 Lunalight Saber Dancer, not a new card from the Sisters of the Rose set. It's definitely pretty good. It just requires 3 Lunalight monsters, and then it cannot be targeted by card effects. And also, you can banish it from the graveyard, but it can't be sent to the graveyard in the same turn and then immediately activate the effect. You have to wait a turn, and then you target 1 fusion monster you control, and it gains 3 additional attack. So that's really pretty good. But normally you probably want to need to summon this card, but the option is definitely there, and it's definitely worth it in some situations. Then some non-Lunalight cards are on 1 Starving Venom Fusion Dragon, just in case, because obviously it's a dark oriented attack, and you can definitely summon it sometimes. Then around 1 Prayer Plant Dragostopelia, because it actually only requires a fusion monster and the dark monster, so it can, mostly this deck is very much oriented around going second, but if you have to go first, you can go into this card and have like at least 1 interruption for that opponent. Then some links. 1 Pentastag. Pretty much, if you need to, you can summon this card and then summon Neo Dancer, and then if it's linked to your monster, that linked monster can inflict piercing damage. So if your opponent has like a defense position monster, you can use this card to inflict piercing damage. So yeah, it will take your opponent easier. Then around 1 Firefighting Taruma Doll, which is pretty good for this deck. It can destroy back row and even your own back row. Like if you have like Serenade Dance stuck in your hand, you can set it and destroy both Serenade Dance and your opponent's back row. And if somehow you destroy your monster by battle with this card, you can target 1 of your Beast Warrior or Winged Beast monsters that is banished in your graveyard, add it to your hand. So that's really a very decent link 2 for this deck. And finally, the last card in Dex deck, V Witch's Apprentice. Just in case if I need it, because it's obviously a dark based deck mostly. So that was Dex deck. So that was my Lunalight real life deck profile. Again, I really enjoy playing with this deck. It's definitely very fun and can be sometimes competitive as well. At least it can actually play against some of the top decks. And actually, the reason why I actually wanted to build this deck is because Serena from Arc 5 is my favorite, I guess, Bracelet Girl or Ray's counterpart. So definitely it's at least the most workable deck out of those 4 archetypes. So I hope you enjoyed this real life deck profile. For now, goodbye and Khaos out.